Charging shit to the game we play. I lost them. I think about it all the time. Was it worth what it cost it? Was it worth when you bought it? Did it hurt when you lost it?
So yeah, man, but no, in relation to that, that's another important part. Because we was just talking about the prideful thing, and we was just talking about how we don't really need help and stuff like that. Um, that's what I was getting to. Is like, um, that's another thing that God does intentionally in our lives is that a lot of times He'll force His way into our life. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times as men, we be feeling like we don't need to answer to nothing outside of ourselves. You know what I'm saying? But that be really one of the biggest, myths that we feed ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just how our nature is. We just design like that. You know what I'm saying? But also just like on the background, we all can relate with that is like we had our dads, but particularly our dads didn't necessarily have that that personal relationship with us to help us develop those certain healthy masculine perspectives. You know what I'm saying? So that's another thing we all have to basically figure out our own version of our masculinity. You know what I'm saying? Um, and that's why you go through a lot of them trial and errors. I'm like, man, I got to keep bumping my head because it's like, you know, uh, parenting is fatherhood has a big, you know, impact on that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. So I'm gonna let you go ahead and.
So this brings me to my next question: is what's the best and worst part about dating you? Starting with the best. So I think the best part about dating me and what I bring to the table is I bring a leader, a provider, security, and a listener. So that brings me to my next question: what's the best part about dating you? Me personally, the best part about dating me is you get someone that goes hard. So I go so hard where it makes you want to go harder. So if that's like within my job, going to the gym, I'm every day I'm finding a new way to get better. And if you're not doing the same thing, then what's the point? But me being the one who takes that lead first is great to have within a relationship.
And then, and when you say, as far as like the going harder mentality, like, do you pretty much just mean like hard work ethic?
Yeah. As far as like gym, dieting, anything I say that I'm going to do.
Okay. Is that and even just like on a little bit of background, is that your that's what you pride yourself on the most? Like as a man, would you say that's your strongest asset that you pride yourself on the most?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, because a lot of people be in relationships and still be in the same place. Like I refuse to do that. So every single day is I'm finding a way to become better. And within doing that, being the right leader, you will get the woman that would follow suit. So she's gonna want to do the same thing. So if I'm going harder, being an example, that's gonna make you want to go harder. Also within yourself and for this relationship. Now you got two people who's just constantly going harder. So that makes a relationship better.
Yeah, and even to piggyback off of that, man, I think that is an important trait to have because a lot of men, that is unfortunate that a lot of men don't have that hard work mentality, you know what I'm saying? And because you got a lot of lazy men out here, you know what I'm saying? Like particularly in our generation, you know what I'm saying? Nowadays, men, get real complacent, particularly when they get in relationships. You know what I'm saying? Men get real lazy when once they feel like, man, I didn't put that work in, I got the woman I want, you know what I'm saying? I'm making the money I want, I got the job, they get real content with what they have. And if you're, and there's nothing wrong with that if it's healthy. But the unhealthy part is that a lot of men, they stop trying, you know what I'm saying, in their life. You stop trying to progress to where I believe that is as men, we do gotta keep that level of like fire, about us and like that drive and that motivation to keep, going forward, man, and try to elevate because otherwise shoot. Which is why a lot of people when they get in relationships, one of the common things to where that we see when lack of discipline or hard work shows is in the physical body. Y'all both gain weight because I've seen that before to where it's like, when y'all got together, y'all was different body types, but now, you know what I'm saying? Now that y'all in that relationship, you didn't put on some pounds and she didn't put on a couple with you, so it's like that's one of them things that I feel like we got to be mindful of that, as that as men. We have to keep that hard work mentality because our women are gonna, naturally just, they're gonna feed off our energy. They're gonna follow our lead and naturally just submit to us in that. Because if we saying it's cool to just be laying around and eating and laying on the couch, pretty sure they're gonna be doing the same thing. So it's like So yeah, that's a good one, man. What about you, Trey? Though, what's your number one, you know,
What I
trait?
would have to put at number one, especially experiencing certain things now. Best part about dating me is that I'm transparent and honest off top from day one. My intentions are clear. The mission is clear. Like I'm never gonna lie to you. I'm honest to a fault. Like even in my in real life, like outside of a relationship, I'm honest. I'm honest to a fault. To where sometimes it may even cause problems. But I feel like in a relationship, transparency and honesty at the forefront is the greatest foundation, to be honest. So yeah, I would say
Yeah.
that's my best.
Why do you feel like why do you feel like that's an important trait to have as a man when it comes to dating and relationships?
I think transparency and honesty is an extension of the idea of being genuine, which one of my clips from the last episode was being genuine and being real. I can never put too much emphasis on that. There's nothing more genuine and more real than telling the truth. There's nothing more genuine and more real than being transparent, being an open book for your partner in general. You should some stuff shouldn't have to be asked. Like some stuff you should say and you should make clear. You should make important. Like and it should be known. Like relationships now, like people be trying to and people they put that on women. They say women want you to read minds and stuff like that. That's cap. I say it's both. I see a lot of yeah, I see a lot of people that want people to mind read, want people to get something that has never been said, never been expressed. But you're supposed to understand it. You're supposed to do it. It's supposed to be done right. You've never been told that this person feels this way about this and that they would like these things to be handled in certain ways, but you're just supposed to do it. You're supposed to know. And you're not. If you set all these things on the table off of the rip or when they come to you, that's the best thing. That's how stuff is not amplified. That's how problems don't get dragged on to go from something that could have been nipped in the bud or adjusted immediately to something that gets to a point where it's happened so much and it's been happening so long, you get tired of it and you want to part ways or any of that. So I just think that's the first step to being genuine.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that yeah, man, that transparency, man. I'm big on that too. That's one of my shout out my church Evolve, man. That's one of they acronyms they use a lot is true, being true, transparent, real, and unedited. You know what I'm saying? Like that's one of the coldest acronyms I ever heard because it's like it's like a double entendre. I know you're a rap man. You know what I'm saying? So triple entendre, dang there. But it's like because that's like a lifestyle. Like that's like that's just not like a trend or nothing. Like yeah, like that applies to everything that you do in your life. You being a transparent and real person, authentic, unedited person, like it will just bring you so much more, just positive frequency in your life. You know what I'm saying? Because from when it comes to your finances, you know what I'm saying, your finances will start to flow more smoothly when you not scheming and scamming and trying to, what I'm saying, or just, overindulging and just splurging and spending all your money to being irresponsible. You know what I'm saying? But if you being transparent about your situation, like, man, I can buy these things, but it's probably better that I just save my money and invest, put it into the savings so that way it can, it can invest in the long term. So that's one of the ways that you could be transparent.
It's like the word transparent, like in the dictionary, I believe a synonym is clear. And when I think of transparency, I think of clear. I think see through, but I think clarity. I think this is solidified. This is undeniable, like you said, unedited. For me, it's unfiltered. People talk about all the time how I ain't got a filter. I believe transparent, a synonym is most likely clear, and to me that's one of the best ways to describe it. I'm just clear. I want everything to be clear.
Yeah, and that's another thing too, man. That's what I had to. That's another thing too. I know when we kind of talk about that pride thing, a lot of men struggle with that too, because it's like we be so prideful, sometimes we don't want to be transparent. because of the prides where people like, man, I ain't finna be making look like I don't know what I don't know what I'm talking about, or shoot, the fact of just not having the answers, or like how I've talked about, we talked about that, or I talked about it on one of the clips, is like a lot of men fear being transparent because of what it can do, or it can hurt people, that it let people down when you be real and transparent, and that's something I've, personally, I struggle with that. I've suffered from that in my life, in relationships and dating and stuff like that, to where that has caused, it actually can cause more pain if you delay being transparent and you delay telling the truth and being honest with that woman that you dealing with, whether it be good or bad, you know what I'm saying? Because it's not always like a breakup situation. It could be just transparency, like how you said up front. I believe that's one of the most important things men in today's world need to really practice, is like upfront transparency. Because man, if you be honest with these women upfront about what your intentions are, what you looking for, what you really pursuing, where you at in your life, because like how you said, it will help avoid the women having to do the mind game, reading your mind, because women, they gonna follow our lead every time, everywhere it go. So if we're not, but we can eliminate that, what I'm saying, out and nip it in the bud, if we just be transparent, like, man, this is what I'm looking for, this is where I'm at, this the kind of man I am, and be honest about this conversation we having to talk about. This is the good, these are the good things in me, and these are the bad things in me. And I believe if we do that, man, we'll have a higher success rate when it comes to healthier relationships. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that was good, man. But yeah, then I would say for me, you already know, yet again, broken record type stuff. Can't say it more than enough. But my biggest, me personally, my biggest trait and asset about myself is my relationship with God. You know what I'm saying? That's my most powerful force. You know what I'm saying? I do a whole sermon on that joint. You know what I'm saying? Because, and I've just learned that, because it's like, for me, that's just like I'm a very resourceful person. So it's like I'm always going to try to figure out the way my mind and my spirit is set up. I'm going to try to figure out where can I go to get the best answers and resources and tools to help other people. And throughout my life, I've learned the source. You know what I'm saying? That's the best place to go, because it's given me so much life knowledge. You know, just on how to navigate, aside from the spiritual side, how to navigate, my mental health, and you know what I'm saying, and particularly, it brings me a lot more peace too. You know what I'm saying, like, because when I've gone through like a lot of more, heartbreaks and challenging times of my life, because I'm in tune with God, it's like, man, I'm able to see like, okay, this is the reason why we're going through this. So I believe that translates into I know that's going to be my strongest, once I get in a relationship, because I'm not in a relationship right now, you know what I'm saying? Been single, my whole life, pretty much, you know what I'm saying? But I know it's my strongest asset, because it's always going to keep me grounded, and it's always going to validate me to be the leader and the head of my household, you know what I'm saying? Once I get married and once I, become a parent and things like that, because it really humbles me, and it makes me more of a graceful man, you know what I'm saying? And it takes away, and y'all know how I am, like, I'm a super laid back person naturally, so it's like my relationship and my discernment when it come to God make me way more smooth in life too. When stuff be happening, I'll be like, I handle stuff a lot more smoother, because I understand it from a spiritual lens. Because if I didn't have that, I'd be probably crashing out myself. You know how we was when we was kids. When you don't know stuff, you be like, man, I don't know what's going on. But it's like, I know that's the thing that's gonna, once I get in a relationship and once I get married, my wife is really going to benefit from my relationship with God, because it's gonna lead us through a lot of strong things. You know what I'm saying? And it also helps me, particularly control, a lot of my temptations and desires, because I'm looking at it from a God lens and taking my flesh out of it, or my personal desires. So that's pretty much what that is, man. I'm gonna let you jump us into the next one.
So now we got all our best parts. What's the worst part about dating you?
Wow. Well, that's pretty crazy, man. Yeah, I'm gonna let you jump it off, Keion.
All right, again, me personally, the worst part about dating me is sometimes my communication. I ain't gonna say sometimes. It is my communication.
Okay, that's interesting. Okay, this where it gets spicy, man.
It's not just within my relationship, just with everybody. Like, I'm not a big texter. I'm not a big caller like that. Like, I'll text you a few things, or I'll text funny stuff. But like, bro, I don't be like, Yeah, and I'll be ready to go. Like, yeah, like, it's something like even like within my relationship, like I could go. Well, I'll check in or I'll call and stuff, but I ain't for stay on FaceTime for all day. Like, I can't do all that or spend my whole lunch on FaceTime. Like, you get a few minutes out of me, but like, bro, I don't know, like, and maybe it's because the way I grew up, but like, I'm cool with just being in the house and not saying a single word all day. Like, yeah, like, so, and some people, yeah, some people think something wrong with me or anything. Like, no, it's just me. Like, I can stay quiet the whole entire day and
Yeah.
not have a problem
Yeah,
with
you
it.
don't need those space fillers of conversation
All the
every minute.
time,
Yeah.
like, I get on the phone with you and end it real quick. Like, I check in, this and that, go back and forth, and
Yeah,
then
be
I'm
like,
cool.
yeah, Keion's favorite line is like, all right, then I'm gonna get up out of here.
Like,
Go
even
ahead, get
like,
up.
yeah, even with gatherings, like, I'll go to gatherings and stuff. I'll show my face. I'm gonna get up out of here, boy. Like, I ain't
After,
tryna-
like you're not gonna indulge in it if you don't have to. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's one thing I've been one thing I've been struggling with in my relationship because she's a talker.
Yeah. So did you? So is that the thing? Because I know you said earlier too that was one thing that particularly has been a challenge that you've been just going through in your relationship. Is that been the cause of it?
Yeah.
Okay. What's an example of like how did that become a thing recently? Like, give us an example.
Again, with us living together now,
Hey.
she experienced it. Yeah. I don't know. July? No, June.
I'm about to say, I thought when we recorded the last episode, y'all was living together.
Yeah, no, it's been a couple months. Well, summertime was when we helped y'all move in.
Yeah. So when we recorded,
July, August, September, October, November. You said, damn, 6 months already? God grief.
Yeah. So I know it's like before my birthday. My birthday in August. So it had been July, August. So yeah, it was living together. She gets more. She sees it more.
Oh, yeah, because it's easier to hide it when y'all don't live together. Yeah,
So imagine trying to be living with a person who's not talking. And again, it's totally my
yeah,
fault.
so she be looking like, and knowing her, I can see that being a thing for sure.
So like again, like I'm trying to work on it. I'm telling you, bro, it's hard because again,
because I could just see you like you be playing the game, be like, yep.
Yeah, bro, like it's hard
and they just
for me.
Advocate for her, bro. Fix that as fast as possible.
Yeah, and like I'm trying
because I live with somebody who don't talk.
Oh, so yours the reverse.
Who will literally yeah.
Oh, isn't that yeah.
Who will literally tell me all I want to do is talk, and that they don't like talking.
That's scary.
And that's for lack of a better word, I ain't gonna cuss. For lack of a better word, that's a terrible feeling.
Yeah. When that's your natural being.
But it ain't even about it being a natural being. Like, this is supposed to be my person. So, like, I feel way different about my person not talking than other people not talking. I could give if somebody else is talking, like, but my person, I live with you. I sleep in the bed with you. Like, you're supposed to be my best friend for real. And like to feel like you got a super small limited amount of words you want to have is a real crazy feeling.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna go into therapist mode. I'm gonna stay relaxed.
I know, like again, it's something that I'm trying to work on. Something I am working on. Cause this is new. Like again,
also,
like,
did she present this to you also?
Oh yeah, she ain't
On what? Like, so when did it happen? Like. What was it like? Did she do it? Was it like a pile up? You know what I'm saying? Like, did it take her a while to say it? You know, like, okay, I've been trying to give grace, and she just finally said it.
She pretty vocal about her feelings.
and that's another thing that you don't want that to stop, because, because you ain't that's rare to find it in a woman, but you don't want that to stop, because that'll make somebody just feel like not talking. Ever.
But no, I'm gonna let you do yours next, man. Keion took up the whole 40-minute monologue. That's hilarious.
My biggest the worst part about dating.
Yeah. The most challenging part about dating you is
lack of sensitivity.
You need a man with sensitivity. But
Yeah. My lack of sensitivity, I would say.
How so?
I think I'm logical to a fault. Like what you said about the work thing, that work example, and your response to that. That would be my response. I'm I'm a solution based individual. So everything you bring to me, every problem you bring to me, even if it's a problem with us, my goal is to solve the problem. That puts me in a position to answer a lot of questions and things with solutions, or with what do you want to do to solve the problem. And with women, I guess all the time it ain't about that. I don't know. All the time it ain't about that. Sometimes it's just about give them a hug, hold them a little bit, don't say anything, or listen, and they don't want a solution. I guess they don't want the
Oh
problem.
yeah, they want
They
to
don't
be.
want the problem to be solved.
Yeah, they want
wanna
to be comforted.
coddled, comforted. I have there's a there is which I'm trying to I'm starting to get now. I gotta stop trying to understand everything because certain things ain't understandable. I'm a logic person, so everything has to be understood for me. So when it comes to that, the hardest thing about me trying to adapt to that was the fact that I want to understand why you don't want a solution.
Yeah. And
So
and in your mind, you think your first response is not gonna be, "Oh, baby, come here." You
my
know.
response is how we make sure it's not a problem.
Yeah.
No matter what it is. How do I make sure this if it's something that ain't got nothing to do with me? What advice do I give you to make sure this is not a problem for you in the future? If it is about us, how do we fix this problem? So like when it comes to the point of you telling me I don't necessarily want a solution to this problem, I can't even fully act on that and just change it too fast because I'm still trying to understand why you don't want a solution. So it became a thing to where I'm the complaint I get is I'm not sensitive, I'm not comforting, I don't provide the type of the emotional support that they want, essentially. And that's something that I guess
Yeah, but
I'm
that
realizing now I
sound,
got to work on.
yeah, but I can also, because like I said, that's the therapist in me. My brain that's how my brain work. I'm already seeing the origin and stuff before when I hear the symptom and stuff. But it's like, but I understand that too because your upbringing, you know what I'm saying, and things like that too. Because it's like when you growing up in a home and an environment that does not show affection, we're gonna talk it out, and we probably not even gonna talk that. We ain't talking about no emotions, no feelings. I'm not finna coddle you. I'm not finna hold.
Yeah.
So
We ain't
when your
showing, and
programming
the
is
thing
like
about it,
that, you're
I like affection. I'm an
yeah,
affectionate person,
yeah,
but I'm not responding to that
yeah.
with affection. I don't get the thought hug and kiss you when you describe a problem or a complaint to me. I get the thought, let's get this shit right. Yeah, yeah. Let's knock this out of here. And for anybody to not want this knocked out of here, that's the part I don't understand. So that's when I had to just say, all right, maybe I just don't need to understand it. And
Yeah,
just
because
need to
you be too
understand
sharp. Yeah,
that women, I guess,
yeah. You do gotta have that balance, though. Yeah, that's a
and
yeah.
I suck at it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's
Also, that's it can like and so consistently throughout your relationships up until now, that's something you have struggled with. Like that's always one
it ain't
of
been a
those.
struggle till now.
Okay. You've been getting more used to like balancing.
I haven't had the desire to no, not that. It hasn't been a struggle because it hasn't been something that I wanted to change. I've never had an issue with the fact that I'm a person that want to solve problems because I've always felt like the goal should be to solve the problem. I love my lady so much that I've decided to start to try to look at certain things in different ways. And I've said to myself, okay, she's not focused on me telling her how to solve this issue at this moment. So what should I have done? How should I have responded? What way would she have appreciated more or value more in my response? And how can I make the adjustments to be able to do that better and more naturally? Like, I still don't see it as a problem that I want to solve problems, but at the same time, I'm putting more with the depth of feeling that I have for her. It's made me care more to where I say, okay, how could I have given her what she wanted just because it's what she wanted, regardless of whether it makes sense to me or not. With partners prior to this, that's not how I've approached it. Because at the end of the day, I've never put as much into anybody, any woman, any relationship as I have into my relationship with her. So with prior, if I hear something about like me not being sensitive or I'm coming on too firm, too stern or anything like that, my response has kind of been like, man, I'm giving you the game. Like, solve the problem. Let's solve the problem. I don't know what you're talking about right now. You talking about you don't want to respond. You talking about you don't want a solution. That don't make sense to me, and it's not gonna make sense to me. And there's nothing you can say to make it make sense to me. But now we get to where it's a struggle because I'm actually trying to change it, and I'm actually trying to do something different and consider it in different ways, which I've had to start doing with a lot of stuff in my relationship with her that I didn't do with other people.
And again, it'd be funny too, cause that'd be the craziest thing is, cause instantly, whenever we hear a problem, man, we think of something logical. Like again, with my girl, she was talking about, she wants to go to the gym more. Do it.
What are you talking about?
But the answer she wanted is, oh yeah, come on, let's go to the gym, or yeah,
Baby, I'm gonna help you get a membership.
yeah, I'm like, cause the first thing I'm gonna think is do it. Like if I say I want to do something more, I ain't gonna say, or if I say.
Me before I started thinking like I'm trying to start thinking now, if I would have heard that, I would have lost my mind.
Yeah, like wonder why I don't communicate. No, it's
Yeah, it's funny because now I will admit I've noticed that is definitely a women, a feminine thing, because they literally just like women sometimes they don't even know that they're calling out for that. Like they just be laying there like, man, I wish I could just do this. It's like, are you saying you want me to do it, or what I'm saying? It's like, but they don't. They just like that, that's how women are. They just like that coddle, comfort and, oh baby, well let me help you get right. They wanted to come. They wanted you to present it more in that versus just being like, oh well shoot, I send you the link. Like I'm gonna send you the link and just go do it.
It wouldn't even be that. It'd just be like, what do you mean you want to go to the gym more? I'm a person who go to the gym 5 times a week. Slide. Say you want to accompany me, or say you want me to help you, or like, but don't come to me and say you want to go to the gym more, because what are you talking about? Just say, can you start taking me to the gym with you? I don't know. If I would have got it in that way 3 months ago, if I would have got it in that way, I would have went crazy. Cause what are you talking about?
It'd be funny too, cause like, bro, you be thinking like, bro, the answer is just so logical. But it's really not, I guess. It's really not.
Nah, there's no I guess. It's not. I mean, it's not for them. It's just not. It's just not 1 + 1 don't be 2 with them. And that's where stuff goes wrong with me. And that's where my insensitivity comes in. That's where it becomes a problem. That's where that's where it has become a problem in my relationship. When 1 + 1 ain't like, when 1 + 1 look like 2 to me, I'ma say it. And 1 + 1 don't be 2 to them. And then they be like, no, you're not seeing that 1 + 1 could be 6.2, and that's the problem. You're not gonna hug me because 1 + 1 is 5 right now, and that's what it sounds like in my head. Like that's not really what they saying, but in my head, that's what it sounds like. It sounds like 1 + 1 might be 5, or it sounds like simple as this: I don't know the answer to 1 + 1. That's what it sounds like to me. So when I try to understand that, it starts to convolute my mind, and it's like, what is going on? Because what do you mean you don't know the answer to 1 + 1? 1 + 1 is obviously 2. So why can't I tell you that 1 + 1 is 2, and then you treat 1 + 1 as if it's 2? You want me not to solve the problem of 1 + 1. You want it to say 1 + 1 question mark when I walk in the room, and when I walk out the room, you want it to still be 1 + 1 question mark, and I gave you a hug. That's what it is.
And again, and then not to just bring this back to me again, this comes to my problem with like, again, things just be so logical to me. Again, if you say you want to start a new diet, if you say you want to go to the gym more, do it. But she be expecting me to be like, to make a whole diet plan for her, or to because again, like whenever it's me,
Even if
like
you want to do that, say that.
Yeah, but whenever it's me, like whenever it's anything I want to do, I just do it. Like I just jump into it. I can say right now, like I don't want to eat fried chicken no more. I'm just not doing it. She wanted to. Yeah, she want to have a meeting about something like we should do this, that. I'm like, bro, I just do it. Like, I just jump into stuff. Like, again, with the gym, like, she told me she want to go to the gym more. I'm not for to say I want to go to the gym more out loud. I'm just gonna go do it. Like, you just gonna see me at the gym the next day or within that hour. Like,
Or if I say it out loud, it's gonna be in the form of a plan. Like we in the gym starting next month. Like with me, I said I ain't touched the gym all month. 2025, we back 5 days a week, and it's just gonna happen like that. Like you don't gotta go to the gym physically to sign up no more. All of it is online. And as soon as you say you were to go to the gym, why ain't you on your phone with the sign up and paying that first month?
But also too, the reason why I can say, trying not to be the, devil's advocate or whatever, but it's just like I do understand it because, like I said, good old therapist mindset. But I do understand it from a dynamic of the balance of how women are the male and female dynamic. Women are programmed to look for leadership. You know what I'm saying? We are programmed to provide leadership. So when they're looking for it, we're gonna be like, well, this is the answer. But we're gonna be like,
But in them spaces where they don't want a leader.
But also too, or before I say that, it's not always when they like, man, I'm looking for an answer. We be like, just go get the answer. That's what we say. But we don't we also have to understand, women want us to help them go walk with them to go get the answer versus just telling them. Because like from man to man, we be like, nigga, this what you gotta do. Like,
but when I talk sensitivity, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about they don't want an answer. I'm talking about the times they don't want an answer.
Yeah. But no, I'm saying also that too. That's what I'm saying.
That's the part that messes. I'll walk with you to get the answer. I'll walk with you to I will hold your hand to the answer. Because that's still speaking to what I do.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. On the flip side, for what you saying too, is like sometimes that's just how women are too. They are, because they're affectionate, creatures.
And I'm trying.
Yeah. So like I said, now that's one thing. Most men, all men don't have that. You know what I'm saying? We don't have that natural discernment or instinct of, okay, I got to get in affectionate mode or that. You know what I'm saying? What about is that something that you also struggle with?
what?
The affectionate part when you be trying to figure out when she looking for it. Is that a tricky
If it's
part for
certain
you?
things, again, if she's complaining about her job, again, the things just be so logical. Like, I claim my job is hard every day too. There's people who I want to work with every day too. But I don't bring that home, or I'm not telling her to that, because I know how to keep job and home separate. Like, anything the job could be on fire. I could have just got into it with somebody. I don't bring that home. I'm a totally like, bro, I don't have to talk about it again after I
get them bringing it home to talk to us because, like I said, we best friends and we live together. I want to come and unwind to you, and I don't even think it's just them, because if I don't want to talk to nobody, I want to talk to my girl.
Stress relief. You know what I'm saying? So I believe that it also is personality traits too.
Yeah, but me personally, I don't let nothing outside stress me enough to bring it home. Like, again, like workers, like, it'll be stressful when I'm at work, but as soon as I get in the car, bro, I don't care. Like, it literally be guys I'm working with be so stressed and stuff. I'm like, bro,
where that goes for me as far as work affecting my stress levels in general is this is how I take care of my house. So like, especially when it gets to a point, especially to where I don't actually like my job, which is the position I'm in now, there's no way I can't let that affect me, because this is how I'm paying my bills at the end of the day. This is how I keep the house afloat. This is how I stay on time. This is how I'm not behind. So if I absolutely loathe the place I work, there's no way I don't bring that home.
Yeah, I understand that. But I don't know. I'm just not saying, like, again, it could be like one of the busiest days ever. All right, yeah, of course, while I'm there, I'm going to be mad, but I'm like, shit, this will be over with in 8 hours. Like, that's just me. Like, it don't matter how busy, how much stressful. Like, you see when we was walking through that mud, I was, all right, I'll help you with this, but
I'm not gonna carry that weight with me after this. I'm gonna just live through it and just.
Yeah, as soon as I'm in the car, bro, I don't care about anything that's going on that happened.
Some stuff just be dead in the life. Yeah, some stuff just be dead in the life.
But also too is like what you in particular, you would say that is the main challenge that has been going on, like, or that, like you said, that communication thing is the trickiest part.
Again, like, I could be driving and get road rage into somebody, like somebody cut me off, or we could be flicking each other off, cussing back and forth. I wouldn't tell my girl about what happened, because, like, again, I would just leave it there. Hey, stop. We listen.
Don't tell about no events.
We listen and we don't. Because, again, I don't bring events home unless somebody asks me, like, you ever got road rage with somebody? And then I'll tell the story.
Cause life is life. I want to hear about that.
Yeah. But also too, Keion, I would say, in a positive motivation way, I think it is good for you to work on that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, nigga, because is your girl your best friend or what, nigga? That's a funny story for real. Most road rage stories is funny.
Because you do gotta keep this in mind, Keion, too. Because I've seen you've done it. More so like with us. You know what I'm saying? Like with your guys, where it's like, damn, you told me that, but you didn't tell. You know what I'm saying? So it's like. I guess it's also too, it's like, that's why I had to say the word over communicate, because sometimes you have to program your mind like, okay, damn, I got to remind myself, because I'm the same way, which kind of ties into my thing is like, one of my things is, or one of my challenges is, well, it's not that directly, but it's like, I need, I'm real big on like prioritizing like my isolation and my space, so it's like, cause I'm more of a quality over quantity. Like we don't gotta, like, kind of similar to how, how you said, I don't gotta be up under you calling you every day all on the phone. You know what I'm saying? We can have them great ones, you know what I'm saying? But after that, give me a couple days to do my own thing, let's ease up. You know what I'm saying?
And then it's not like if we go out on a date or anything, I'm halfway there. No, I'm interacting. All this is like our time, this and that. But it's just, again, when I'm at home in my own comfort, I don't have to say anything. Like, again, I know the problem within it.
I can sit in silence for hours at the crib.
But they'll think that's a problem. I'm like,
I can sit in the bed, stuff playing back to back at the crib, not having to say nothing. I'm just enjoying it. And yeah, you next to me, you in my arm, laying on my chest, we good. We ain't gotta we ain't talk.
Like, even still, like, when my unwinding of work is like, bro, I'll go get on the game and I'll be playing music. She wants me to be in the room with her. I'm like, I'm for do this, like.
But I think, that's what I was gonna say too. Is also, I do believe it. The reason why you definitely should work on it, you know what I'm saying, and it's not that, it's not too bad of a, it's not too hard of a challenge. But the reasoning is because it just creates a more, it's an awareness thing. That's really what it is when I'm hearing it. Because, like I said, that's why that's not a struggle I have. I don't really struggle with those two things because I'm such an aware person, mentally, spiritually, physically, and emotionally. I'm humbly, I consider myself a well-rounded person, you know what I'm saying? Which is why mine is actually something different from all of those. But the reason why I say you definitely should work on it and just programming, like I said, over communicating. Like I said, I learned that from Montreal, because when you're like it's like when you're not used to it, you gotta overdo it in order to get right. You know what I'm saying? That's
something you put into practice. Like even with me getting in the gym, when I got in the gym.
Yeah,
somebody
5 days a week.
Yeah,
Keion, you was a two a day person to get yourself.
When I got in, it was way more than 5 days a week. When I got in, somebody told me they say it take 21 days to form a habit. So I was like, I went 21 days straight.
Keion, do something like that. I wouldn't do that.
I went 21 days straight.
That's some
and I was
pride stuff.
At that time, like when I got in the gym, like I was going through like 2022 was a terrible year too. I was jobless for a minute, and so in that time of being jobless, like I was doing 3 days at a point. I was so facts. I go in 8-9, play pickleball with the old people. Come back maybe 12-1, workout. Come back 6-7, either hoop or lift. I was trying to escape my home life at the same time. So yeah, I was cranking it way more than 21 days, and that's when I started to love the gym after that. So you have to. It takes an extra effort, an extra solid decision to say I'm going to do this, and it takes extra practice.
Yeah, to
just when you start, when you first start,
for it to become normal. Yeah, which is why, like I said, Keion, you should start programming yourself to where it's like, because in the back of your mind, you about like, because Keion, I can see how you gonna do it. Keion, like, I'm going to the gym. I'm gonna be there at 5. Yeah, I can see you gonna be saying it with a dry response. Is there anything else you want to know? Keion gonna be like, even if you got to do that, like, if you
got to be all of that. I'm going to the gym. Sound like enough.
Yeah, no, but I'm just saying, like,
you said I'm gonna be there at 5. That's crazy.
That's me being comical. Yeah. Like I said, because I know how Keion would do it. Is what I'm saying. So he could
throw it. He probably would.
You gotta force those. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. That's his way of overdoing it. You know what I'm saying?
I can see him doing.
So like I said,
I'll be there for 2.6 hours.
Like, okay, you want me to get you some pickles on my way back? You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like, it's like, but that's what I had to learn. Like I said, shout out Montreal, shout out my mentor. But that's another thing too that I thank God for, is that I've had mentors in my life too to also help balance me out. because he's the one who actually helped program me to get a sharper, faster processing power in my mind on how I think to where, because I'm a laid back person. We all laid back people, but it's like the way my mind where I'm like, oh, I didn't think I had to say all that, or I'd be like, okay. But so once I started doing it, it became normal for me. Like I said, it does create a healthy balance to where people gonna notice it. They're gonna be like, man, you sharp, but it's like they don't know that you had to overdo it to get there to where it looked normal. You know what I'm saying? So it's like me, that's something when I'm dating a woman or I'm dealing with a woman, that's something I do normally, like when I don't have to. But because I know it's a healthy relationship quality to have, I program myself it in my dating life, because I know when I'm in a relationship, it's gonna have to be very consistent. So it's like I don't make it I don't get too comfortable not doing it. You know what I'm saying? Even as y'all know how with y'all, like when my relationship, hey, I'm here. Where y'all at? I'll be there in 15 minutes. Let me know. I had to stop and do this. All right, make sure y'all. If y'all notice, I actually over communicate a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like I do it everywhere, so that way it becomes normal for me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like even for you in the group chat, we don't know until I'm pulling up, I'm here. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how Keion is. But you probably should have told us you was on the way, because if you would have known that, we would have known it. Okay, be ready. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah.
like,
And that's why, like, I even said I'm trying to get better with, not even within my relationship, is with everybody. Like, that's why I brought, like, let's do more meetings, this and that. Because, like, again, like I was telling you, I said I just show up. Like, again, like, it took me to form that habit to get not even prepared, but like to get them meetings in before we do this.
yeah, because it
So
helps you get in alignment. You know what I'm saying? And that's another reason why self-awareness is so important as men, because we have to know what areas we're weak in order to know what to work on. Just like going to the gym. I want to get my arms bigger. I probably should do a lot of curls and a lot of, upper body stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it's that same mentality. But yeah, the fact that you, but yeah, that's funny that you put it out there like that, because I definitely know that's your
and then it'd
thing.
be funny too, cause like I'm always reliable. Like I may not communicate, but like if you call me, I'ma answer. Like I may didn't tell you where I
Yeah,
was
so that's
going or
another
I was
thing
leaving.
too, because that's why I get it from both sides. Because even today, you didn't say nothing for the all day. I knew you was gonna be here. But with women, you can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Women are emotional. I learned this is another thing I learned about women too. Women are very like proximity lovers. They have to be around. They gotta feel connected to you consistently and be around you in order to know it. Because they constant validation seekers too. That's not always a toxic way. They just like, man, all right, you got to say something, give me something. So like you said, in your relationship with Daviana, you just telling her, explaining her, taking some few minutes to explain, man, I got the promotion, I'm feeling good. He told me this, and man, without her asking you that, that's automatic validation without her having to say, do you love me or do you care about me? Because your consistency in your actions, you over communicating creates healthy relationship balance. And my name is Marquise Walson. I approve this message.
I know my problem again. I don't know. Maybe it's just me just being used to like not really being alone for so long. Like
Yep. And which is, that's another thing too I resonate with, which transitions me into mines. Yeah, so what I would say is the hardest part about dating me is dealing with my 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 isolation and like separation tendencies. You know what I'm saying? Because the way that I am, the way my mindset is like programmed is like how we talked about. We all, are very, we all relate when it comes to like our isolation and growing up on that. Hey, shoot, it's just me. You know what I'm saying? Like I grew up with a single mentality, individual, self-independent. So even when I know, even because I've experienced it in a lot of my dating experiences and other situationships and all of that different stuff is like even when I'm 100% invested, like I ain't dealing with nobody else or nothing like that. I'm very serious about this woman. I'm showing care, love, and affection, but it's gonna come a time when I'm gonna need that space. Like I said, because I'm not like that's what I was gonna say earlier. Is like I don't struggle with the not properly communicating. I don't struggle with the lack of sensitivity because I'm good in those things, but I'm good at them in certain pockets and spaces. My struggle, I guess, is kind of consistency. So kind of consistency. Yeah. So mine's is more so. Yeah. So mine's is more so like a mixture of consistency and isolation. Yeah. Yeah. So let's not overdo it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and it be normal to me, like how to kind of like how your communication mind work. I'm like that with isolation.
But
I'm like,
is that dating or is that in a relationship too?
I would say relationship is as well, but it's not like dramatic. I was being a little dramatic when
I
it
was
comes to
gonna
like
say, 'cause you tell
a
your
couple.
girlfriend, give you a few days.
Yeah, but like, but
Whoa.
it's also too. It's like, yeah, no, it's like it's levels to it. In the dating world, it's like that for sure. Like it's like because that's me still owning, being realistic about my reality of my singleness. Like I don't have to talk to you every single day, but I've encountered women to where more often than not, that's just how they. Whether they women like gonna be wanting consistency either way it go. I've learned that. Like we all know that it don't. You can just start talking to her. I'm like, God damn, we just met and you talking about some where you at? Why you didn't text? In my mind, I'll be like, I don't think we in that stage, but all right.
Right.
So it's like,
If we got there, I guess we there.
yeah, so that's what I'll be like, man. But that's why I've programmed myself to that's my healthy way of overcompensating because I create that healthy boundary of like I'm the type of person to where I'm real big on protecting my space and my singleness. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I have learned that it has become a challenge throughout my different dating experiences that I've been in. So that's something that I've been aware of, and I've intentionally been working on how to healthily over communicate in order to compensate for that.
So once you get into a relationship, how do you feel like that will change? Like, how would you deal with your wanting to be isolated?
So yeah, mine's is gonna be it's gonna be pretty tricky, especially because I ain't never been at that level that y'all been at, living with somebody too. That's when it's gonna get. Yeah, but it's like for me, that's not something I like. It's not like a fear for me though. You know what I'm saying? That's something it's an easy adjustment for me for the right person. Yeah, because I'm the type because like how we all talked about, I'm a very logical person. For the right one, I'm not tripping. Like, cause it's like if I know I want you, because as
At the
men
end of the
we're
day, for the right one, you probably want it too. It might not be as hard because you might have the desire.
yeah, facts. Which is why that's how my logic works. To where it's like in the past there have been times when I'm intentionally not doing that because I was like, if I know that this is not gonna be that, I'm not gonna provide you with that level of that.
Yeah, so that's a
level
desire
of,
thing. That's a
you know what I'm saying?
if you saying you know that this ain't gonna be that girl, that's a lot of that is tied to desire. Because if when the girl come along, you gonna want her.
Yeah, but also too, it's been ones that I'm real emotionally invested in, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, all of that, and I still have done the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I said, it also is a programming thing. You know what I'm saying? And some of it is just it's really conditioning. It is a lot of conditioning. So it is going to take intentional work for me to get out of that. But that's definitely my thing because man, people, all my guys, all my people who know this about me, but particularly all of my just because of my lifestyle too. I'm a business owner full time, so it's like that's when the logic kick in. I don't every day I wake up, it's about man. If I don't do nothing, if I'm spending time being laid up, booed up, that's another day I'm cooked on, and I'm making money. So mine's is a little bit more. That's why I put a lot on that. Versus, like I said, when it comes to sensitivity, community, I can do that all day. You know what I'm saying? We can do that. But when it comes to my time, you know what I'm saying? That's where it get tricky at because it's like, okay, I'm gonna give you the time. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't always have it, but when I do it, I make time. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how mine shows up to where it's like, oh yeah, you ain't gonna doubt it when we together. Like I'm here. I'm not spacing out. I'm not giving you short answers. I'm praying with you. Doing affectionate stuff. We can talk. We can laugh. I do comedy specials, on the weekends, all of that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I do all of them things, but when I get in a relationship, I do know that it is something that I'm gonna naturally. I just know it's great. It's gonna be a graceful experience for me, just because that's something I've been looking forward to do. But I've been holding it intentionally because I'm logical. Like I don't like wasting time too, or I don't like wasting. I guess quality, energy. I guess I'm just big on that. It's like it's a lot of stuff I subconsciously been saving for my wife. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like we all kind of like that in the back of our mind. Like it's certain levels we not gonna go to until we literally are married. You know what I'm saying? And you literally are there to where it ain't gonna be no question. But mine's I just put more emphasis. Like man, I'm gonna hold all of it back until it's really that time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
And that's where with this has been different for me because it was me holding all of that back till I knew I wanted to marry this person. Like this the only woman I've ever actually wanted to marry. I've always been I've always been in relationships with the goal of getting to that. So that's always been the conversation. Like people, somebody. I can imagine girls from my past hearing that and be like, "No, he wanted to marry me." No, I wanted to get to the point where we were going to get married. This is the only woman I've ever actually wanted to marry. Was making plans to marry, shopping for rings, things of that nature.
But so what you saying that? Because that's a it's crazy that you just said that because I was gonna ask you that too a while ago. You know what I'm saying? Because this is just how shout out man, shout out God did. It's just bro, like I said, I got this beastie level of discernment, but like I said, it's due to my spirituality. I can sense things without people even being able to say them. Since this time we've been reconnected, I've had a feeling that because we've chopped it up over the last couple of years enough to where I'm like, I got an idea about your past relationships and stuff. But in my mind, I had a sense that that's how invested you were. I picked up on that. I was like, why do I got a feeling, bro? I haven't asked you that, but I had a feeling you was gonna say that. Cause I could tell, cause I can when you talk about how you navigate in a relationship, I ain't never heard you talk like that about any woman.
Only woman I was ever actually taking steps to marry, making plans
in your mind, your emotions, everything,
making physical plans, like taking them steps. That was never a thing. That was never a thing with any other girl to where it's like, okay, let's get a date together where I'm going to propose to this girl.
Yeah. That's why Keion he thought it was over. I said, wait, Keion, he wouldn't have told us like that. Like, yeah. He said. Then the nigga that was another one of his examples of the dry communication. He said, "Happy early congratulations." Like, god damn, Keion, that was pretty. Like, that's it. Like, if he told us that's what he did, that's how you would do it. Like,
that would have been planned and y'all would have been in attendance. But this is the only one. So when it comes to you saying like it's stuff we holding back until we married, it's stuff that I held back up until I knew I was going to marry her. So this stuff is stuff that she's seen, no other woman is seen. Like it's places I've let myself get to. No other woman has seen. Like work I was willing to do, stuff I was willing to bend on, stuff I was willing to adjust, compromises I was willing to make that no other woman has seen me make for them, I would make for her. So when you said it was funny that you said that, like it was stuff that you holding back until you really there. These is the steps. Like I was a little early. I'm a little earlier than being there, but it was in my head. It's me. In my head, this is my person. That's me. That's my girl. It's not gonna be nobody else. She not gonna have nobody else.
Yeah, man, and that's why, man. Even with you saying that, bro, it's like I said, the way my mind going right now, boy. Like I said, we gonna probably need 2 more hours, man. But it's like,
I'm waiting on you.
Huh?
I'm waiting to cheer you on.
What? Oh, you talking about the relationship? Yeah, man, yeah. That's what everybody been saying. Yeah. Cause and even with you saying that, man, I appreciate you. And transparently, like I said, that is something I can say is that I do have at this point in my life, even though I am still single, based on what God has done in my life, particularly in 2024, the different, women that I've dated and things like that. He has revealed to me that my time definitely probably is coming soon. I can say that.
It's still the same one, right?
Huh? Yeah, and we had, I mean, Keion was there today, and then yeah. So from who I told you about, so yeah, like I said, I'm a, like I said, it's based on what I know. I don't know too much, like I said, because of how how the programming works. You got to stay safe until you're proven otherwise, proven guilty. But so
I mean,
it's like
I could wait for you, dog. No, because you know how when you get into a relationship with someone, they become the female become another version of you. I ain't ready for both of y'all to be on my ass, though. I ain't ready to get therapy by both of y'all. No, I'll tell you, I'm here both of y'all like, all right.
Man, that's the season I'm finna be in, man. Cheering for the homies, bro.
Yeah, I'm be happy, but I'll be mad.
That's gonna be funny, Ken. I can tell you, and I can tell you this, Ken. Like I said, I'm still, receiving what God is doing, based on. But I can also say this too. Just I'm gonna do like a triple entendre thing. The reason why, or this is like me giving you the advice on like this is why I'm excited for you on kind of with the motivation Keion gave you from the mental side. I'm excited for your spiritual journey and you elevating in your relationship with God, because I know that's gonna do wonders for you. You know what I'm saying? Particularly because I know your heart, I know your life. You know what I'm saying, and your story. So it's gonna provide you a different level of confirmation when it comes to that one thing, which is why the reason why I'm so confident in what I'm saying is because the source been telling me certain things. That's the only reason why I'm talking like I promise y'all I wouldn't. Man, come on now. Y'all know, you been knew how I am, and I'm the same way now. You know what I'm saying, that I was, and Keion been here the whole time through. So it's like I don't mess around when it comes to like really opening myself up for that. But particularly God has really put me in a lot of critical and intentional dating experiences in 2024 to where it's really healthily opened up my mind and helped me really let go of a lot of unhealthy habits and tendencies that I had in my dating experiences and in my own personal life, to where I'm really like in a more clear focus understanding of what I'm looking for in a woman, and finally at a place in my life to where I can confidently say I know now that's what I'm looking for. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's a beautiful thing, man.
I said I feel like, especially with the way you're talking right now, I feel like it's gonna be what it's
Man.
supposed
Like I
to be
said,
for
bro,
you.
I can confidently say, like I said, I can't say too much, but it's like I can't confidently say that I'm thankful for my counsel. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all, you know what I'm saying? My brother Nate, my cousin Roman, you know what I'm saying? Montreal, my big brothers, you know what I'm saying? To where it's been critical people I've been continuously talking to and getting counsel from over these last 6-7 months. You know what I'm saying? And it's been a lot, and it's like, for me, it's scary for me because, like I said, the only difference is I haven't really been in a real relationship. You know what I'm saying? I've done all of the real things with it, but I've never gone the step of, making it official with the titles and then living together. I ain't did all of that. So it's like, because the way my mind works, I got one good one in me, boy.
But the thing about
Yeah.
it, I take that though. I take that from you. I got one good thing in me, because my thing is, I feel like you might have got your heart broke before, but I feel like you ain't been through too much relationship strife. Like that it creates an exhaust. It creates a like being in multiple, to where you go through certain things with one, and then you go through certain things with another, then you go through certain things with another. It creates an exhaust. So if you kind of, I ain't gonna say keep yourself away from it, but in the sense you have kept, you've been protecting that spot for the one you think is worth giving that spot to. All your exhaust and work and wherewithal and everything, if anything is gonna be, if it's gonna be on one person, that's cool. It'd be great, because you ain't expended none of that. You ain't expended none of that energy to say, I don't have this in me anymore. You don't have, you're not in that position. So I feel like that first one, if that's really your attitude going in it, you can give them everything. And you won't even have to give too much, because of who you are and kind of how I know you're gonna make sure certain things are in line with her as far as how you are with each other. It won't hopefully it won't be too much strife to where it won't be something to handle, something that you can't handle, because y'all would be aligned on certain levels just off top.
Right.
So
Facts.
hey man,
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm gonna be at the wedding, cuz.
Yeah. I appreciate it. It's gonna be a modern king's wedding, man. Yeah, it's gonna be a beautiful thing. But what I can say, I feel like, because I remember Keion had, you had spoke some things into manifestation on a pod that we did like a year ago. Remember when I asked you, I was like, you think you can marry this woman? Remember I said that? And you called it out on the pod. Now I ain't gonna do all that right now. Let's be easy. Like my dad say, keep it premium.
Man, I'm calling it out, man. I'm rooted for both of you niggas, man. I'm waiting on y'all, man. I'm waiting on you too. Start talking, cause you said 3 years. We need a proposal by 5. So we need you. So we need you to be talking by 5. So we need you to be talking by 5.
I'm just gonna pull the ring out, like, you know what this means.
See, that's why the nigga need to talk. Cause what the hell you talking about? You ain't gonna say too much.
Based on what he said, Keion, she gonna walk in, it's gonna be on the table. He gonna be like, oh yeah, I thought you would have knew that. That's what she gonna be like. Dang, you ain't gonna ask
I
me.
would have been dressed for the wedding. Come on, ain't you coming?
I ain't got you a ring before, so you know what the ring
Yeah,
for.
Keion gonna be like, come on now, you know what. Keion gonna hit her with come on now. Already, you basically know. Like, are we basically that?
Well, his speech gonna be funny. Hey, why else am I here?
Yeah.
Right. If you can't have a crowd at this nigga proposal.
Hey, that boy
His proposal
Keion.
gonna have to be in one of the decorated hotel rooms.
Yeah,
Cause you have a crowd.
Keion, I'm gonna have to
Everybody
speak
else
for
be.
him.
Everybody else
Hey,
be.
Keion, I'm
You're
gonna have
the
to
love of my
speak for
life.
this man. I'm like,
You're the love
okay,
of my
look.
life. You're the woman that's blah 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 blah. He
Yeah.
gonna be.
Yeah, that's
So listen.
hilarious, bro. That's why it's gonna be such a beautiful
He gonna
thing,
say her
man.
first, middle, and last name.
Yeah, and then he gonna be like,
Will you
Keith,
marry me?
take it
That's
away.
it. Will you marry me? That's it.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say.
Yeah, you ain't
But
supposed to say it like that.
But yeah, man, that's one thing for
I
sure.
thought that's how it would have went.
Yeah, no, yeah, for sure for Keion. Keion, yeah, I already called it. I called it when he first got it. I already knew what time it was. I already called it for him because, like I said, I can see it because I got a different level of discernment, particularly with the spirit and all of them things too. To where, like I said, that's the benefit why I'm excited for you is because humbly, you got some ammunition and resources you didn't have before. If based on your current life circumstance, if it does go the way that it's looking like it's gonna go, I'm confident that when it's time for that real one, you're gonna have the right proper resources. You know what I'm saying? Particularly, that's why I'm excited for our relationship to keep going because I already know that's gonna be it. Like I said, I can call him out, boy. Like, yeah, man. Like I said, I'm like a genie with it. You know what I'm saying? I can tell you, oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because with Keion, with the past situation, I could have told. I done had a lot of callers, even the ones that wasn't it. I could have told niggas. You know what I'm saying? But it's like based on my relationship with them, I can't say or I choose to say or not to say because I don't like spoiling people's minds and you know what I'm saying. But if you opening that door and if you want my perspective, I know how to give non-biased, healthy, balanced, counsel when it comes to that. So it's like I say all that to say is like that's why I'm excited for where I believe God has brought me to when it comes to my current current life, you know what I'm saying, and relationship status, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I'm 100% single, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, but I do have an idea of where I could be going, you know what I'm saying? And that gave me a different level of peace I haven't had before, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, but I can say that, what I was going to say was pulling it, in the spirit of something like Keion is like, now in 2026, we might be talking about a different conversation. I might be able to confidently say where I'm at on the pod, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm confident in about a year's time. Because as we know as men, it don't take us that long to figure out whether or not we about to do it or not, about who we want to choose, you know what I'm saying? So it's not going to, but based on my current circumstance, I'm confident that, by 2026, we're gonna have an answer of where and the way I look at it too, even just saying like, the reason why I haven't given my my relationship title to a woman so soon in my life is because I look at that as basically I'm calling you my wife. That's how serious I take it. That's why I haven't said it. That's how I'm like dead serious like that. If I'm saying you my girlfriend, I'm basically saying you my wife. That I don't like. Why are we doing because the way I've looked at it, logically, you didn't talked about it is like if we know it's not gonna be that, let's just stay single and just date and do whatever we gonna. That's how I look at it. Just be logical.
That's the ultimate step. Yeah, like yeah. If you know now you're not trying to get there, then why?
Yeah, again, to be respectful to my partner, that's why I only been in 3 relationships compared to the girls I've been with. So again, my view on relationships is that we're working to marriage. That's why it's only ever been 3 compared to the women I've been with. So again, all 3 of the women I could marry and not had any problems with.
Yeah, you were confident in the long term. It's a long term commitment and investment basically. Because it's like if I'm man, because like I said, y'all that's why y'all haven't seen me say that. I don't say that. I don't play that game. Now when you say it, y'all gonna and like I said, I can say that too because I can't get too excited because I'm still in the conception phases. But it's like based on what you said, the funny part is if it turns out to be what I believe is gonna be, when the more and more y'all see her, it's gonna be like it's gonna make sense. Like
So what happened when she say you taking too long, cuz?
you said when she say I'm taking too long. Nah, but even just on a funny tip, I don't believe that's gonna be the case. I think it would actually be reversed with my scenario. Yeah, so where it's like based on and off camera we gonna talk more details on the current update, but yeah, no. No, it don't. Because I went through that too many times, to where it's like, all right, now I already know how to avoid that. Because I've heard that too a lot of times. To where it's like, so what is, you know how we, yeah, y'all know how it be.
What we
is
doing?
we,
What we
you know?
doing?
I done heard that so much, so I'm like, okay,
Especially give me a few days. I can see women.
yeah, no, yeah, I didn't heard that enough. So I'm like, nah. When it come to me choosing for real, it's not gonna be that. I'm gonna be on it. Like I'm ready to go. Like that's how my mind is, and I'm mature enough. I'm at a different level of maturity in my life now, and my spiritual understanding and mental understanding, to where it's like, man, it's gonna be a beautiful thing. But I will say, like I said, I'm excited for y'all to see that for me too, and of course I'm excited for myself. But I just want to really, I'm excited to also be a living example of what it's supposed to be like. You know what I'm saying? Um, and just being able to like healthily, really just practice what I preach. I really want to live what I preach in real life, man. Like I don't want to be one of the people that be like, man, I've been, not saying there's nothing wrong with it, because everybody life circumstance is different. But for me personally, based on my purpose and everything, I already know, man, I can't play them games. You know what I'm saying? I can't do the back and forth, in and out. Let me wake up, come back, baby, back. You know what I'm saying? It's like, like we ain't doing that. I'm trying to be, intentional, especially because, another, just to the motivation to the viewers is like, as a man, you got to be fully, it'll be easier to identify your wife when you are fully confident in who you are as a man. You know what I'm saying? Like when you fully understand your purpose, your calling on your life, and where you actually supposed to be going, you're going to really understand, like, okay, this is who I am wholeheartedly, no matter who I got in my life. So when it comes to selecting a wife, I already know everything I want and need, in a partner. So that's why I always encourage the men out there, man, to really take that time. I'm real big on the singleness thing. That's been my, how you say, with your genuine and my greatest word and motivation aside from God has been, man, really take advantage of your singleness, because it will save you so many heartbreak. It will save you so much trial and error. You know what I'm saying? To where, like how you said, I did it intentionally and unintentionally protecting myself, because I'm like, man, because also too, on the side note with that, I've done that because I know if I go all the way, I plan to, finish it. You know what I'm saying? But also, me and my cousin talked about this the other day, is that I'm pretty sure y'all can all relate with this. Is like, man, we love genuinely. So it's like, as opposed to, and it's not a bad thing when it comes to women, but women typically, uh, they love, like I said, based on proximity and what we're doing for them. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna go because they look for provision. If you're not providing these things, they're gonna be like, oh shit, I'm gonna go to the man that's providing it. But for us, if we genuinely want you, it's not a game, it's not a gimmick. You don't gotta do all that. I ain't gotta be affectionate. I don't gotta communicate. I'm here. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, man. So, just wanted to say that. But yeah, man. As we close it out, what's y'all end of the year reflections, man? As we talk about all of the different things, this has been one heck of a year for me personally. 2024 has been the most memorable year I've ever had in my life. I can tell you that. And it's definitely been a real good one, man. But yeah, man. So what's y'all, Keion, Trey, whoever want to start, man? What's y'all biggest takeaway? And this one we could take some time on this, because we want to get everybody's genuine perspective.
My end of year reflection just been, imagine being in a relationship and don't know how to be in a relationship.
Yeah, because this your first. Also for you, this was your first year living with a partner ever. Yeah. First year living with a partner, and basically the one that you plan to be
this
your
really
wife.
just open yourself up to someone. Like even like yeah, like even before just staying with my parents, like yeah, they was in the house all the time, but I didn't see them all the time. Like they either at work or I'm just going straight to school or back in upstairs to my room. Same thing with my brother. Like we didn't see each other every day compared to when you're in a relationship. You have to say something to that person every single day. So just imagine being in a relationship and learning how to be in a relationship. It's crazy.
Dude, that's so fast. I'm sorry, cuz I'm not even trying to laugh. That's hilarious, dog.
We listened. We done.
Wait, what did he just say? I missed it.
Because I was talking about being in a relationship, you have to say something to that person every day.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Bro.
He said it like it's so hard, bro.
Yeah, like I said, I'm telling you, I know this man, bro. He's dead serious.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he said even if I gotta communicate and tell you where I'm going.
You just I just might have to say hi to somebody in the house every day. There might be somebody in the house for me to say hello to and goodbye.
So that's just been my biggest reflection, is just learning how to be in a relationship. Again, with this next year coming into my life, I'm calling this chapter being in the room. For so long I've been trying to get the foot through or open the door. I feel like I didn't got the doors open. I didn't got my foot in. Now I'm trying to be in the room, and then in the next room, then in the next room. So I'm trying to be in the room, not just put my foot in.
Let's go, bro. That's what I like to hear, man. I'm telling you, I can't wait till I can really talk that talk, boy. I'm telling you, I'm gonna be a beast, boy. I can tell you, cause y'all know the single version of me. I'm gonna be a monster. 3 years in relationship, Keys. Can you imagine what that's gonna be? But I'm not a rapper. I did that on accident, you know. But yeah, I'm a boy. That's why, man. That's why. Remember, I've been telling you that for years, bro. Like, you've been my biggest inspiration. You know what I'm saying? Cause it's like, yeah, cause I've known you longer than, cause yeah, I haven't known, cause Troy been in a long term relationship, but I ain't known him as long as I known you. Nate, I haven't known him as long. Yeah, so you have basically been my only like brother, you know, up until this point that's been in a long term relationship. So I've been really pulling from a lot of your motivation to where, like I said, that's the beauty about the circle that we created, man. To where it's like we got a healthy balance. You know what I'm saying? To where it's like, man, but it's like the good relationships. It ain't the toxic crap. And it's like to where you can obviously tell they not finna do nothing. But it's like, yeah, that's why, man. That's why I've been saying I'm proud of you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like I love hearing you say that. Because it's like I know that's why that's why, like I said, when you first got with your lady, man, I was like, man, I was in love for you. I'm like, damn, well, he found her. I was like, you know what I'm saying? Because I can tell when I see it. Like, I already know what a real one look like. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, oh yeah, he good. And that's, you know. So, but yeah, I did, you know, just wanted to say that. I didn't want to cut you off. But yeah, I like that statement, bro. That's a great reel. That's gonna be a great reel. You know, congratulations, Keion.
Appreciate it.
The
Yeah,
reason why I shook his hand is because he actually went crazy on the reels this time. You know what I'm saying? He went real good with the sound bites. You know what I'm saying?
I got a lot of new opportunity in my way. Now I'm just trying to be in the room. I've been put in a good place due to God's plan. That this is gonna be a different 25. This next year gonna be a different year.
So for you, would you say your year wasn't it isn't, which is a good thing. It's not a bad thing. Would you say your year wasn't really filled with like no pain, depression, nothing like that? You didn't really go through. I mean, not saying you didn't have no challenges, but I'm saying ultimately, it sounds like your year was actually a uplifting, positive.
Yeah, this year was just about work. That's all it was about, just hard work and dedication. Cause even with the job I was at, like just putting in the work to even just elevate to a new level, transferring to a different part. Even within my relationship, just really just been work. I really just been tested all year, hitting new PRs in the gym. I don't want to say too much. But yeah, just really just been work. That's all it's been. This whole year is just work to not just put the foot in the door, but to be in the door. So
Man, I love that, bro. Yeah, man. Congratulations. Shout out my boy Keion, man. What about you, Trey, man? Because we know it's been one heck of a ride, man. One heck of a ride, boy.
Like I said in the beginning, man. I'm desperate for a good one. So, a takeaway from myself.
Everything that's transpired, man, as a full reflection mode.
I just gotta build. I feel like I gotta build a whole. I feel like I gotta build my armor back up. Like I feel like every sense of durability I ever had, every piece of that just I always been. Yeah, it's gone. It's gone.
Then it's kind of like when your car break down. It's like, man, you kept avoiding that oil change and getting that, then getting them struts and all that stuff fixed. That mother literally just said, hey, it done broke down on the side.
It just like I feel like all of my will has fell apart. So it's just kind of just rebuilding that and rebuilding it into something that was stronger than the one I had before. So that means getting back into the gym. That means locking in on the studio. That means trying to just better myself as a man, as a father, locking back in on that. Like a lot of stuff I've been through this year has made it hard for me as even a father. Like just being hurt and having kids. My children are small. Like just being hurt for pretty much the whole year, and being crippled pretty much the whole year. Having small children it's hindered me as a dad. It's hindered me in a lot of ways. Hindered me physically. It's messed with me mentally. It's just made me feel away emotionally. I haven't been able to do a lot of stuff I love. I'm getting my recovery really doesn't end until the summer. Or I think technically August, like August, September. I plan on moving around a lot next year. Just getting out the city a little bit. I just want to be better. I want to feel better. I want to mean more. I just want to get back on the right path, because I feel like at a point I was moving in the direction that I wanted to be moving. I feel like I got a lot to prove.
And again, one thing, another thing I'm gonna say to you is fall in love with the work. Job not finished. That's the one thing I can say is that I didn't appreciate me building myself back up enough. Like, I really fell in love with the grind, becoming better every day. And as I got out of it, I look back at it, I'm like, bro, I love that shit. Yeah, like, even just
and I
getting
need to tap back into that.
Yeah,
I haven't been tapped into anything that I once embodied this whole month. Like, and that's part of it. Like, just the part of being challenged or just getting hit with something, like, it's not enough. Like, you gotta bring one more. Like, another thing Kobe said, you gotta send another. Yeah, like, I ain't been tapped into that. I've been in the space where it's like, please don't send no more. Like, for real.
Yeah, but again, you gonna get to that level where you love it. Like, again, cause like I dealt with a similar year to that, and it was like at the point where, like, when I was going back in the gym doing my rehab, and I'm like, that's it. All right, I know where I'm at today. I'm gonna get 2 times better tomorrow. I'm like, and it's a struggle because it really hits you mentally of far, and like how knowing physically how backward steps you was. But you just gotta fall in love with getting better every day. Just not even just getting back to the point to where you was, but to go beyond that.
Yeah, like I said, I'm trying to reinforce my durability, reinforce my armor, I'm trying to reinforce my strength, and part of that is building a structure within myself that is more durable and just better in general than the one I had before.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's gonna help you on all aspects. Not even just with the physical part. Again, job not finished. I was going through challenges after that. I'm like, that's it. Like, old girl did that while I had torn ACL. You gonna have to come better. Like, so yeah. So it's like, bro, this challenge really don't affect me because I ain't dealt with so much while injured physically. So it's just about, like, as long as you going out there every day knowing I'm a proof point and knowing you the hardest worker in the room, it hits you differently. Again, like, I be at work, like, I'm moving faster than certain guys. I'm like, man, I'm lifting these tires and stuff, but on one leg. Like, y'all don't realize I was doing this on one leg and I'm faster than y'all now. Like, again, for the first 2 months, I don't go to the gym because gym be overcrowded. It be so many fake people just up in there with cameras like, oh yeah, new year, new me. So I look at it as I'm giving y'all a 2 month head start. And y'all still can't outlift me. I ain't going to be back to March and y'all still can't outlift me.
Wait, so you ain't going to the gym the first 2 months of the year for real?
No, I don't go to the gym for real. Like, I'll go at night, but in that, it'd be way too crowded, especially the first. Between the Planet Fitnesses, Vaza.
Now you got the Y now.
Yeah, I got the Y now, but like the Vaza.
I'm going to get back in Vasa, but I got Y, but Planet Fitness, yuck.
Yeah, but just all like, it's funny too, because that's when I started Spirit. Like, I have a lifetime fitness membership.
Oh, you rich?
A Spirit, no, my job pays for
it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's
like,
rich. That's riches in access. You rich.
It was like
access.
everyone I was going to was just packed them first 2 months compared to like when you go in March.
Oh yeah, them New Year's resolution people blow my mind.
It'd be wild. Again, I just look at it as like, bro, I gave y'all 2 months head start. I still came up here and outworked you. So I don't care. Like I don't care if I'm doing heavier weight, but I'm lifting my weight more than you could do your weight. So it's like I still came up here and outworked you.
Yeah,
So
man. Yeah, and that's important, like you said, man, to really get motivated to pick yourself back up. You know what I'm saying? But also, like I said, the beautiful part about it is for you, bro, is like, hey, you know what I'm saying? You got us now, you know what I'm saying? In a different way that you haven't had. To where, like I said, I know that's intentional by God's plan for your life, bro. Because he, like I said, he know your heart. You know what I'm saying? He know your mind. He like, shoot, all right, I got, But then one thing I can say that I've learned, also like for spiritual motivation for you is that it's like, typically I've learned that when it get the hardest is that's right before the blessing come. You know what I'm saying? Which is you can speak to that prime example, and for me, I feel like I'm living that too in my own way, to where I feel like I've hit my end of the road when it comes to my singleness as I know it. You know what I'm saying? To where it's like I done went through all of the emotions and things, to where God did that intentionally because he like I want it to be so painful so that way you can fully let go of that your older self. You know what I'm saying? So that way when you now you can go into this newer self, with a clean slate, with a fresh start, you know what I'm saying? With no, oh man, I still got a piece of that, or I'm still letting that type of stuff slide. I know I probably shouldn't have let that slide, but I did. But now, okay, now I see out the gate, I'm on it, you know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, man, then I would say for me in particular, I feel like this my biggest reflection, I would say with
oh
2024,
yeah,
go ahead.
my bad. Hold on, not to interrupt you. What would you call this next year of your life? Yeah, like my chapter for my next chapter is to be in the room. What's the name of the next chapter in your life?
Resurgence.
Why that one?
I feel like it's just it's time to come back. It's time to be back. Better, different.
What was the title of your project that you said you was working on?
The return.
Oh, isn't that so funny? But I'm not a rapper.
Y'all be on the lookout.
Yeah, that is the title of the next joint. The return.
I don't think that's by coincidence. You know what I'm saying? I really believe it could be your life is at a very symbolic place. And 25, the number 25 is a really symbolic number. You know what I'm saying? So, and this is the start
What's
of
crazy is I've always had, like when I was a kid and I first started making music, I always said I needed to be famous by 2025. Like 2025 was always the year. Like my Wi-Fi password is Elite Business 2025. Like my pin on my PlayStation is 2025. My pin on my Peacock is 2025.
Oh, what? That's crazy. Oh, I never knew that was a symbolic year for you.
But it's still his Wi-Fi.
Yeah, he was. I was gonna say he was gonna say my social security.
Hey, what's the bank
and with a
card?
5,
Pin?
you know.
He said passwords to everything. What's the bank card? Yeah. What's Social Security?
Yeah, like it was that since maybe like since like 2016 I might have took that on. It made that an important like year.
On what?
Yeah.
And also too is man, like I said, man, we got a long way to go, my brother. You know what I'm saying? In a good way, you know what I'm saying? And I could say just hearing you say that is like I'm excited, bro, to like I thank God, man, that we reconnected during this time, bro. Particularly 2024, you know what I'm saying? Because it was perfect timing, bro. It really was. It's crazy because we could have reconnected at any other time, you know what I'm saying? But I think it was by design, by God's plan.
And
bro.
we partially touched base in different years.
Yeah, but we always stayed connected, you know what I'm saying? In order, which was preparation for it to be such a seamless, transition and to lock back in 24 and 25 is gonna be because we didn't start the year off like how we ended it, you know what I'm saying? So now it's starting off the year out the gate. So the rest of our life and our adulthood, that's the beauty in it too. That's what I'm excited for too. You know what I'm saying? So even just hearing you say stuff like that and it made me think about that because like when you say in 25 of like the year that you want to be famous, yet again, just like how my spiritual discernment kicking in to where it's like you'll be surprised to where yet again to where like in the views that we have for ourselves is not necessarily God's plan and God's view for us, to where, man, you never know that this might be the year that you get famous through the form of podcast, which would be the thing that'll put you in that status that you wanted to be in musically, but God's like, oh no, this avenue is actually gonna open up the door for something like this. Then on the back end, the music gonna come in, and that's just how I've learned. I've lived enough, life to see like that's how he do it. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, hey, even for us, you know what I'm saying, this could be the year based on the commitment and the journey that we all at. To where it's like, man, this 2025 can be the year of the pod. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I don't like the timing because the Drake and Kendrick beef. Wish this could have happened a little bit before, a little bit after this. No, I'm just playing. I'm blessed to have you, brother. I don't like him, but I'm blessed to have you, brother.
Oh, you is hilarious. Oh yeah, also too, for the people out there who don't know, my boy Trey is a Kendrick fan, and me and Keion are Drake fans, but I'm not as a diehard, rivalist, like Keion is. So they go at it back and forth.
Yeah. The boy belongs in Toronto. He shouldn't be an American citizen.
Your boy belongs in Compton. Which one would I rather visit? Which one?
I'd rather visit Compton.
What?
I would rather visit Compton.
What's up with these jabroni? No, I'm just.
You know how historic Compton is as a city. Toronto.
Yeah. Yeah, got Niagara Falls.
But let's stay on topic. Let's say that for the music segment. That's how it get going. That's why y'all got to lead it. You see what I'm saying? You see, I'm a genius in that aspect. You know what I'm saying? But no, go ahead, bro. But yeah, like you were saying, 2025 resurgence, and you know what I'm saying. But just explain. For the people out there who don't know, obviously, I got to give
resurgence, shit, rebuild, revitalize, restore, reborn. Essentially, just like that's the word for me. Like I'm pretty sure if I actually look up synonyms to resurgence, it's probably gonna be in a bunch of more words with It's just reestablish. Like I said earlier, I want to reinforce. Like at a place I just felt strong, way stronger than I feel right now. So, gotta get back.
Yeah, and find a new approach. Yeah, man, I like that, bro. But yeah, man, I would say for me, cause you already went right, Keion. Yeah, I would say for me, it's definitely, man, it's a crazy one for sure. But I could share this with y'all though. One of the things, cause I'm real big on like writing on my calendars, like my titles for the month based on whatever word come to me and it really on my mind. But particularly in a funny way, I told myself, because 2023 was the year that I had went celibate, for a whole year straight. You know what I'm saying? Did we talk about that? Did you know about that?
We've discussed that topic, but I didn't know that it was a thing to where you did it for a year.
Yeah, so yeah. Thank you. I remember that, Ken. I remember when I said that on the pod. These niggas looked at me. I called it on the pod and went did that, man. So that's another way that no, I'm saying I called that out on the pod, like claimed it, and then a year later, I'm saying was able to be successful with that. But yeah, so that's another reason on how serious I am with this. You know what I'm saying? Like when I tell you I live this life for real, it's definitely beastie, man. But after everything I went through in 2023. Particularly with that celibacy, because the reason why I went celibate in 2023 is because that was another form of me really honing in on my singleness and really protecting my energy, you know what I'm saying, and really mastering my discipline and doing it for myself. I didn't do it for no woman, you know what I'm saying. I'm not doing it all because she said no or relationship, you know what I'm saying. And I did it intentionally also due to my purpose from what God was telling me. He was telling me and leading me based on how my prior relationships and dating experiences, situationships had gone. He was like, I had to humble myself, you know what I'm saying, to where I thank God that mine wasn't a leg, an arm and a leg, you know what I'm saying, to where it was like, I was like, you know what, but it was something that was, that did immobilize me in a way that I'm used to moving, freely, like all men are, you know what I'm saying, particularly when it comes to our sexual lifestyle and stuff like that. That's something we always used to have in control of that. So, I had to, the guy really put it on my heart, was like, yeah, you got to shut it down. And it felt great. That was one of the most, liberating things I ever done for myself, you know what I'm saying? And it gave me a different level of understanding about life and enlightenment. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, and that's what really took my spiritual journey to another level. But being in that year of celibacy in 2023, when I came out of it, it had really the word I got for 2024 was like the last dance. You know what I'm saying? Like it's kind of crazy. Like I was speaking prophetically to myself, like, man, I don't want to keep living, my singleness the way I've been living it without direction and a plan for a relationship, for marriage. So I told myself, man, it would be the last dance of my life as I know it, my singleness as I know it, moving without intent and moving with all of it, letting it be out in the air. So yeah, that's how I looked at it. So that's how I would title mines. And the reason why I say the last dance is because it's really the end of, what I'm saying, all of my lesser versions of myself, version of me that was, what I'm saying, just moving wrong, and when it comes to relationships and, all in on failures and stuff like that, business wise, what I'm saying, and just, my spirituality and my, maximizing on my purpose. So 2025, as I reflect on the whole year though, aside from a title, because that was a other part of it, is like, the reflection of it is like, it really just, yeah, it really prepared me, man, for, yeah, I'm really just excited, man, for where I'm going, bro. Because 2024, man, my biggest lessons particularly did come from relationships and dating, in 2024 for me, because that's what I had prayed for. Is like, I really been trying to, as I'm getting older and being 25 years old, I really been preparing myself. I've been preparing myself for marriage and parenting for a long time in my mind, and what I'm saying, in my spirit. So it's like, that's why I felt like he really answered all of my final questions and everything that I asked for. So 2025 is going to be like an activation year for me, fully activating and being consistent and disciplined, man. So yeah, man, that's pretty much what I got, man. As we close out this episode, man, anything else y'all want to, any piece of motivation or game y'all want to give out there to the viewers, man?
Expect to be seeing a lot of us.
Yeah, consistency.
Well, this our year. So
2025, man. It just kind of reminded me of that. Like I forgot that was even something that I made important up until.
Oh, you talking about of the consistency with the pod?
No, 2025. This is a year. I forgot it was a thing that I made important at a point.
Until I had asked you that, yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yes, sir. Hey, that's what I like to hear, man. Let's go, man. But yeah, bro, you know what I'm saying? Shout out my boy Kyrie, man. But yeah, man. So that's what but yeah, all in all, man, yeah, like I said, man, it's been a blessing to be able to still be here, man, be alive. I thank God for that, man. You know what I'm saying? That's the most important part, you know what I'm saying? Despite all the stuff we've been going through, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just thankful. I thank God for y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? My brothers, man, we've been locked in. This was a heck of a way to end the year, to end the year, but also to start the new year too. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just really looking forward, man, to really taking this podcast thing more serious and being more intentional about it, and really getting that content, because that's what we want to do for y'all, man, is really just spread this word, man, and spread this positivity and this life knowledge from all of our failures and successes, man. So that way the reason why I like this too is because we officially YouTubers, which is kind of another funny thing to kind of process, is like, when you really think about it, that's actually what we are. Like, and growing up in school, we used to always hear about that and be like, man, I wish I could be a YouTuber. And it's like, basically that's what we doing. So, and the coldest part why we all used to like it is because we could track our life progression. Like when we look back 5 years, like, dang, I was talking like this, I ain't even know, man, that's crazy. So it's like, that's another reason why I love this form of YouTube that we do, because it's like, man, this is great authentic content to be able to track our progression. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, man. So we appreciate all y'all, man. Shout out to, MK team. You know what I'm saying? The dream team right here. You know what I'm saying? We starting the new era of the Modern Kings pod. And yeah, man, everybody stay prayed out. You know what I'm saying? I hope everybody stay blessed. Stay positive, and we gonna see you on the next one. And it's just like that. You know what I'm saying? Yes, sir. God did.